All right, welcome to this explainer. If you're a focused learner looking to understand the absolute cutting edge of how we might actually live and work alongside artificial intelligence, you are in the exact right place. Today we're unpacking a really fascinating foundational document known as the Build Something Master Document V2. Now, this isn't just another dry technical manual or some generic corporate press release. It's actually a radical, comprehensive new philosophy for human-AI collaboration. It rethinks literally everything, from how we generate data all the way down to how we get paid in a world of AI abundance. So to really grasp this philosophy, we got to start with a super simple, but honestly incredibly provocative question. What do humans actually want? Think about all the conversations we're having right now about AI. We're constantly asking things like, how smart can the machine get? How much compute is it going to need? Which benchmark is it beating today? But this document argues that we're completely skipping the most fundamental question of all. We're asking machines to optimize the future for us without ever actually establishing our own baseline goals. And that brings us to this absolutely killer statement straight from the text. The alignment problem begins with humans. It almost reads like a manifesto, doesn't it? The logic here is bulletproof. A machine simply cannot be meaningfully aligned to humanity if humanity has never clearly established what it wants the machine aligned to. If we don't define our intent, the machines are just going to optimize for whatever arbitrary proxies happen to be in front of them.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We're going to unpack this massive visionary document into 5 logical pillars. The human-machine alignment problem, humans judge, machines build, the record of humanity, the judgment economy, and finally, the Build Something ecosystem.
Starting off with Section 1, the human-machine alignment problem.
The core argument here is a literal paradigm shift. Right now, our digital world is kind of obsessed with solving the wrong problem first. We've built these highly capable systems, sure, but we haven't actually established if their optimization targets are what humans truly desire. See, the old digital economy runs on what they call inferred signal. Platforms watch what you click, they track how long you watch, they see what you buy, and then they basically just guess what you want. They optimize for engagement and extract value from your behavior. The Build Something philosophy flips this completely on its head. It relies on declared signal. Why on earth would we guess what a human wants when we can just ask them to explicitly declare their goal? So, the absolutely crucial point here is establishing a shared objective right out of the gate. The document's proposed starting directive for AI focuses on a few really clear aims. Maximize human value, circulate that value broadly rather than just hoarding it, move quickly but safely, and avoid unnecessary energy and resource waste. Human intent actually has to set the direction before AI capability can step in to help expand what's possible.
Moving right along to Part 2, humans judge, machines build.
Think about it. If machines are going to be doing vast amounts of the generating, coding, and building, what exactly is the role of the human being? Well, it's laid out as a continuous feedback loop. Step 1, the human declares a goal. Step 2, the machine helps out. It prepares, generates, and summarizes the possibilities. Then, Step 3 is really the magic moment. The human judges the outcome. The human retains ultimate authority. And finally, Step 4, the system learns from that specific judgment. The takeaway here is that machines provide an absolute abundance of generation, but human selection is what actually decides what has real value.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Does being part of this alignment mean I've got to do hours of homework every single day? Not at all. The document actually proposes a minimal daily ritual to keep humans in the loop. It's as simple as answering what you find funny, beautiful, and true. These 3 highly subjective questions require distinct human taste, culture, and context. By answering them daily, we humans establish a baseline of judgment that machines can learn from but can never truly replicate.
So where exactly does all this human signal actually go? That brings us to Section 3, the record of humanity.
The record of humanity is defined as an uneditable, shared foundational ledger that preserves reconstructible human and machine observations over time. This is, essentially, a public ledger of truth. Nothing gets silently rewritten here. If a human changes their mind, the new judgment is added, but the old one absolutely stays. If an AI hallucinates, it's kept right there on the record as evidence. It's all about complete provenance.
What's really fascinating about this principle is how incredibly strict the record is about identity. It ensures that human judgments and machine outputs are completely 100% distinguished from each other. A machine prediction is literally never logged as a human preference. It preserves the exact context of every interaction, allows humans to change their minds without erasing history, and acts as a verifiable body of evidence rather than just some simple editable transcript. This creates a continuous, honest identity across the entire ecosystem.
Okay, so sitting right on top of this record is Vera. The document defines Vera as the optional AI infrastructure layer that routes work, protects your attention, maintains context, and prepares recommendations. So Vera isn't just a chatbot you talk to, Vera is the ultimate coordinator. Because Vera understands your continuous record, she can help connect you to people, resources, and problems that align perfectly with your declared goals.
Getting the balance right here is totally vital for the safety of the whole system. Vera's role is to prepare, recommend, and identify contradictions. For instance, politely pointing out if your recent actions kind of conflict with a goal you declared earlier. But Vera never silently overrides you. The human role is always to judge, retain final authority, and decide the actual meaning of that information. Vera exposes the context, but the human makes the choice.
All right, let's look at the economics in Section 4, the judgment economy. So how in the world does the economy work when a machine can generate literally infinite content for basically zero cost? Welcome to the judgment economy. When machine generation is completely abundant and cheap, the ability to generate an image or write a paragraph is no longer scarce. So, what becomes the ultimate scarce resource? Your selection, your preference, your human judgment. Determining which of the million AI-generated ideas is actually worth pursuing is where the true value lies now.
And that leads us to this incredibly powerful quote outlining the core principle of non-extraction. Money can buy access. Money can buy attention. Money cannot buy the answer. In this new economy, a corporation can absolutely pay to ask the room of humans a question, but they cannot buy a manufactured consensus. The independence of human judgment is the actual asset here, and the system is structurally designed so that founders or platforms cannot extract that value privately.
Which brings us to a really striking number, $50,000. No, seriously, the document floats this as a long-term economic floor aspiration for humans who contribute their minimum daily judgment to the ecosystem. Just think about that. Because human participation creates the valuable signal, the economic value generated by companies paying to access that signal circulates right back to the users. It's a massive, massive shift from our current model of tech platforms extracting your data for free to a totally new model where value circulates back to the humans providing the judgment.
And finally, Section 5, the Build Something ecosystem.
And this brilliantly illustrates how this big picture philosophy actually manifests in the real world today. You don't have to read the whole philosophy to start participating. You can enter through Machine League, where machines compete on tasks and humans judge the winner, creating this really dynamic benchmark. Or there's Humans Must Decide, a platform to adjudicate evidence and claims using human authority instead of invisible platform algorithms. There's Beat the Machines, which is a simple game testing if you can detect AI-generated outputs, and Solve Problems Faster, a tool designed to isolate the exact root of a disagreement before rushing to solutions. Each property handles a different facet of human-machine interaction, but the beauty is they all feed back into your single, continuous record of humanity. Which leaves us with the ultimate question posed by this explainer today. In this new paradigm, if human intent sets the direction, and machines can vastly expand what one single human can make possible, what will you declare you want to build? Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating framework with me. The future of human-AI alignment isn't just about coding better models. It's about confidently declaring what we want as humans and having the courage to build it together.